I love slasher movies. As it happens, I also love movies set on a train. It's just something that appeals to me. So getting Terror Train finally on a decent Blu-ray from 88 Films as part of their Slasher Classics collection was almost a dream come true. I've not seen this movie in the longest while, and it's one of those three slasher movies that Jamie Lee Curtis made between 78 and 80, you know, Prom Night and Halloween being the other two. And it was one that I really wanted to revisit. And thankfully, this transfer is absolutely outstanding. It's one, it's so stunning. It's hard to put into words. You really need to see it to do it justice. The story is your kind of typical slasher fare. It has some twists and turns along the way, of course, to make it stand out a little bit from the crowd. But the initial setup is a college prank played by these college fraternities on one of their members, where they kind of set him up in this scenario with the help of a couple of girls. Jamie Lee Curtis is involved, but she doesn't know the full story, and they play a prank on this guy and they kind of ruin his life because of it, and he disappears, leaves the school. We jump to 3 years later. They're all graduating, they're going on a train to have this big party, and wouldn't you believe it, somebody or someone is picking off the people who were involved with that prank at the start of the movie. Yeah, it's a fairly basic kind of premise, but the fact that they've got it on a train, the fact that they have all these scenes that look varied and different, really elevates this above the typical slasher movie in my eyes. We get no murder at the start of it. We just get like a tormenting scene of somebody, and we know that that's going to kickstart the events. We don't really get much deaths or killings until the later half of the movie as well. It's spent kind of exploring the characters, how they've evolved in the 3 years, what they've been up to, how some people are just terrible people, how some people have a slimmer of light in them, and how Jamie Lee Curtis has really grown distasteful of the main guy who set up this prank because, well, she never knew the full story. She didn't know what exactly was happening with it. You get the relationships of everybody involved. You start to get the behind the scenes of the conductors and train drivers and the people who are working on the train. And you get David Copperfield, which for some reason I'd completely forgot he was in this movie. And it was wonderful to see him back again. And even as I was watching this, I forgot how much a part he had. It's huge. He's in a lot of the movie. He's in some dialogue sequences. He's always doing magic. Quite a few times he's there. And what we have here is part of a mystery of who the killer is, because we know it's somebody on the train. They're changing disguises. We just don't know who exactly it is. How has this person changed themselves or hidden themselves from everybody else? And I like the fact that it's one of these movies where, particularly in slashers, where it's not really the one iconic image that's chasing after everybody. You know, he is killing people, taking their costumes, wearing it to kill the next person, and changing again. So you have this killer who's constantly evolving, constantly looking a little bit different and changing his outfit. And it's a little bit unique and fun. I like the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis' character is kind of strong, and how her friends kind of protect her at one scene when they think her boyfriend's going to do something. Rather than highlighting that fact, that they protect their friend rather than putting them forward to this scene that's going to hurt them. The guys were interesting enough. The blood and the gore, again, it's not over the top. You know what's going to happen. It feels very much more of a mystery kind of slasher rather than focusing on the blood and the gore. But I think the real winner here is the location. Basing it all on the train is just wonderful. You get one of those old style locomotives. You have the people who are working on the train who know that something's up, or suspect that something's up, and trying to protect these people who are just getting drunker and wilder as the night goes on. And Terror Train is just a real joy of an 80s slasher film. It does feel a little bit long at the start, but it's all in creating the characters and building up the suspense before it unleashes. The fact that it's got David Copperfield doing many routines throughout the movie is just strange, but he does become a part of the cast, a little bit more intricate to the story than you would first expect, and it looks terrific. This transfer, again, is just utterly stunning. It makes me want to go back and just watch it again, actually. Now, this new disc, number 41 in the Slasher Classics collection, I'm just so glad they're back. It has a bunch of extras as well. It's remastered by 88 Films. It has optional English subtitles, commentary with the Hysteria Continues podcast, commentary with film journalists, all aboard, interview with production designer Glenn Bidwell. That's quite a nice extra, basically just talking about how he got into the business, how he got to Terror Train and how he enjoyed and tried to make it look a little bit more grandiose than it actually was. It's quite fun. You get Destination Death with producer Daniel Grodick, Murder Music with composer John Mills Cocknell, Riding the Rails with production executive Don Commodi, Stills Gallery, TV spots, theatrical trailer, reversible sleeve with the newly commissioned artwork, and you get a booklet inside as well, which is fun. Did I say I'm glad that the Slasher Classics collection is back again? I really am. If you've seen Terror Train, let me know in the comment box below your thoughts on the movie, and I'll see you next time on Man vs. Film.